If you have spent some time researching how to get into top tier MBAs, you would have realized that writing MBA essays isn't just about answering essay prompts. It's about crafting a compelling, cohesive, and authentic story that stands out in a pool of high achievers. And you're not just being evaluated on what you say, but also on how effectively you say it. So, in this edition of Top 11 series, I am diving into what's actually a 12-step framework for essay writing, because that one extra step at the end will make all the difference. Here I have created this step-by-step flowchart such that it acts as a tool for you to navigate the essay writing process with clarity, depth, and confidence. So what are we waiting for? Let's walk through each phase together. Step 1. Conduct a deep self-assessment. Before writing your essays, take time to reflect on who you are and why you are pursuing an MBA. This step builds the foundation for everything that follows. Point 1. Clarify your motivations. Ask yourself, why do I really want an MBA? What are my short-term and long-term career goals? And how business school will help me get there? Point 2. Identify strengths and weaknesses. Make two lists, one for your core strengths and one for areas that you're struggling in. And then note, where have I shown these skills in my life? And what are the instances in which these areas of improvement were exposed and what I have done to overcome those. Point 3. Organize your experiences. Create a simple personal organizer. It could be a spreadsheet or a document in which you're going to log the following experiences: work experiences, academics, extracurriculars, community service, personal life, and any explanation that you may have to offer. For each of these, jot down what happened, what you have learned, and how it has shaped you as an individual. By doing this upfront, you'll have a clear, authentic story and plenty of real examples to pull from when you're actually writing your essays. Step 2. Develop your positioning or core themes. Once you have reflected on your experiences, the next step is to shape how you want to be perceived by the admissions committee. This means defining your personal brand. Let's see how you can do this. Point 1. Choose 3 to 4 core themes. Look at your personal organizer and highlight recurring qualities or values. Are you consistently a problem solver, a resilient learner, or a bridge between different parts of teams? These 3 to 4 traits with concrete examples will give you that authenticity to set you apart. Point 2. Create a positioning statement. Ask yourself, if someone reads my full application, what are the 4 or 5 words that should come to their mind? Simple terms like driven, collaborative, analytical, or visionary should be fine. Use them as your core element in your content and the stories across your essays and resume. Point 3. Tailor themes for each school. Research what each school specifically emphasizes on. For instance, Stanford values introspective change makers, whereas Booth emphasizes on structured, data-driven thinkers. With this in mind for your schools, highlight the parts of your story that align naturally with each school's personality. A strong positioning strategy ties your entire application together, making it memorable, intentional, and uniquely yours. Step 3. Prioritize and draft the career essay. Your career goals essay is the foundation of your entire MBA application, so start here. This one piece will shape your story, set context for your motivations, and help define your fit with every school that you apply to. Let's see how you can do this. Point 1. Pick one school to begin with. Begin by writing the career goals essay for one target school. Choose a school where the essay prompt is straightforward, such as what are your short-term and long-term goals and how an MBA will help you get there. Point 2. Map your career evolution. Now create a brief timeline of your career so far. What key decisions, motivations, or transitions have brought you to this point? Use this to explain why at this point you are looking for an MBA and why now is the right time for you. Point 3. Be ambitious but grounded. State clear short-term and long-term goals. Show that you have researched the industry, understand what's realistic, and have a definite plan. Avoid vague language or generic dreams like, I want to be a leader. Point 4. Show confidence and momentum. You don't have to frame your MBA as a fix for a gap. Instead, position it as a strategic step to build on your achievements and accelerate your growth. If you do this right, this essay will become the anchor for the rest of your application. Step 4. Brainstorm an outline for each essay question. Once you have chosen your target schools, it's time to tackle each essay prompt, starting not with writing but with structured brainstorming. Here is a practical way to get started on this front. Point 1. Start broad, not perfect. For each essay question, open a blank document and list every relevant experience, idea, or insight that comes to mind. Don't edit yourself or worry about grammar or length just yet. Just capture the raw material. Point 2. Organize your stories. To spark ideas, divide your life into categories like professional, wherein you're going to document key projects, leadership moments, setbacks, or academic, where you're going to talk about research, intellectual growth, or major decisions. There could also be a section for extracurriculars or community, wherein you're going to talk about volunteering, clubs, social impact, etc. And then there will be a personal section where you will talk about your formative moments, values, and family influence. Point 3. Create a working outline. Once you have your list, group similar ideas and begin shaping a rough outline. Identify your main points, supporting evidence, and conclusion. This will help you spot any content gaps or overlaps if there are any. This approach helps you reflect deeply, plan strategically, and avoid scrambling for examples later. It's the kind of thoughtful preparation that makes your essays really stand out. Step 4. Write rough drafts. Once you have outlined your essays, it's time to start writing, but not for perfection. Your goal at this stage is progress, not polish. So here is how you can approach this step. Point 1. Commit to a first draft session. Block out, say, 60 to 90 minutes of uninterrupted time. Open your outline and begin expanding out your points into full sentences and paragraphs. Now, you don't want to worry about structure, grammar, or tone just yet. Just start organizing your thoughts. Point 2. Follow the ugly draft rule. Yes, I mean an ugly draft. You need to give yourself permission to write badly because this is your first draft. Your job here is to get the ideas from your head onto a paper, even if wording is clunky or repetitive or grammar is off. You can revise that later at any point in time. Point 3. Aim for completion, not perfection. Try to get a full beginning to end version of the essay in one sitting. That will help you see the big picture and better identify where your argument is strong and where it's missing the required depth. Point 4. No editing rule. Resist the urge to perfect each sentence. Editing too soon can interrupt your flow of thought and slow down your progress. So the first draft is simply the raw material. The refinement will come later, but only after you have written something that is substantial. Step 6. First revision, content clarity and detail. Now that you have the first draft, it's time to step back and shape it into a focused, compelling essay. The first revision is all about strengthening your message and sharpening the content. So here is how you can make this happen. Point 1. Revisit the essay prompt. Read the question prompt again and again carefully. Ask yourself, am I answering this directly and completely? Is there any part of the prompt that is not adequately getting answered? Make sure your essay has a clear main idea that is aligned with what the school is actually asking. Point 2. Add specifics that bring your story to life. Whenever possible, include real examples, numbers, names, and results. Instead of saying, I led a successful project, explain what you did, how you did it, and what the impact was. Details can make all the difference because it will make your story credible and memorable. Point 3. Cut down what doesn't serve the message. Remove sentences that repeat ideas or state the obvious or include information that has already been highlighted elsewhere in your application. Focus on adding value by building a narrative or story, not just filling out space with specific details. Point 4. Read it aloud. Now this is an important step. Reading aloud helps you spot unclear phrasing or ideas that feel disconnected. If something doesn't sound natural, revise it for clarity. So overall, this round is about refining the content so your message comes out as clean and strong. Step 7. Second revision, organization and flow. So at this stage, you have an essay that has strong content, but now it's time to refine how your ideas are structured. A well-organized essay guides the reader smoothly from start to finish, making your message more impactful and easier to remember. So let's break this down step by step. Point 1. Group similar ideas together. Go through each paragraph and ask, does this section focus on a single main idea? If you're jumping between unrelated points, reorganize your thoughts so that similar ideas live in the same place. Point 2. Stick to one core idea per paragraph. Each paragraph should have a clear purpose. Keep them concise, ideally under 150 to 200 words, and focused on explaining one particular aspect. Point 3. Create smooth transitions. Use transition words and phrases like as a result, building on that experience, or this led me to realize that to connect your ideas and guide the reader. Think of them as bridges that link your thoughts seamlessly across different paragraphs. Point 4. Read it like a reader. Try reading your essay out loud or asking a friend to read it aloud. If you stumble or get lost, that's a signal to improve your flow. Strong organization enhances clarity and ensures your best points don't get lost in a sea of words. Step 8. Third revision, style, impact, and conciseness. Now, what you have is structure and content in place, and your final polish focuses on how your essay should sound. This revision brings your personality to the forefront, trims unnecessary stuff, and sharpens your writing for maximum impact. So, here is how you can make it happen. Point 1. Let your voice come through. Verify authenticity. Does it sound like you, someone confident, thoughtful, and motivated? Replace stiff or overly formal phrases with natural, energetic language that still maintains professionalism. Point 2. Cut without mercy. Highlight phrases that don't add value, adverbs, filler words, or repetitive thoughts, and delete or tighten them. Aim to say more with less. Use tools like Hemingway to judge readability level of your essays to spot wordy sentences. Point 3. Use strong, specific language. Choose active voice over passive voice. For example, I led a team instead of a team was led by me. Favor precise nouns and vivid action verbs. Avoid buzzwords, cliches, or overly technical jargon. Point 4. Sharpen your opening and ending. Rewrite your introduction to hook the reader within the first 2 lines. Also close with a confident, forward-looking conclusion that reinforces your core message. Remember, at this stage, what you are trying to do is to transform a solid essay into a memorable one. Step 9. Tailor essays for each school and ensure overall consistency. Once your core essays are polished, it's time to customize them for every school. Admissions committees can easily spot generic responses, so showing that you understand their culture and you have aligned your essays for them is essential. Here is how you could do this in action. Point 1. Personalize for the program. Start by replacing any generic references with the school's specific features such as courses, clubs, professors, or values that genuinely resonate with you. Ask yourself, why this school and why am I a great fit for it? Once you have that clarity, reflect that in your essays. Mirror the school's culture. Adjust your tone and content slightly based on the school's personality. For example, essays for MIT Sloan might emphasize innovation and collaboration, while Wharton may value analytical rigor and global thinking. So the same story, if it is going in 2 schools, it might be slightly different so that it can highlight those specific skills. Point 3. Ensure application-wide alignment. Review your resume, recommendations, and short answer responses alongside your essays. Do they all reflect the same goals, quality, and themes? If one document says you want to pursue finance and other says marketing, revise to eliminate this contradiction. Point 4. Use a cross-check sheet. Create a simple checklist to track changes and confirm that every school-specific essay reflects your overall narrative accurately. This step will ensure that your application will feel intentional, aligned, and deeply tailored. Step 10. Adhere to word limits and meticulously proofread. When you have worked hard to craft strong essays, you don't want to let a small error jeopardize your impression. Admissions committees value clarity, precision, and attention to detail, so now is the time to clean up every last line. Here is how you can do this. Point 1. Stick to the word limit. No exceptions. If a school gives you say 500 words, then aim for a write-up that is between 490 to 500 words. Going over even by a few words suggests that you don't follow instructions. Use editing tools like the built-in word count in Word or Google Docs to track the number of words. Point 2. Proofread slowly and intentionally. Don't rely solely on spell check. Read your essay out aloud, one sentence at a time, and listen for awkward phrasing, typos, or grammar issues. You can also print it out or change the font just so that you can see it with a fresh eye. Point 3. Check the final upload. Before you hit submit, preview the uploaded file. Make sure fonts have not shifted, margins aren't misaligned, and spacing remains consistent. Never shrink the font just to squeeze in more content. That way it looks very cluttered and unprofessional. This final polish ensures that your application looks thorough and professional as it should be. Step 11. Seek multiple reviewers and finalize thoughtfully. Before submitting the essays, it's crucial to get outside perspective. You're likely to spend hours immersed in your own story, so a fresh pair of eyes can catch what you might miss and help you refine your message. So here are a few things that you can do practically. Point 1. Select diverse, trusted reviewers. Share your drafts with 2 or 3 people whom you know well and will give you honest feedback. They could be your friends, mentors, colleagues, or MBA alumni. Ask them specific questions like, does this sound like me? Or is this a persuasive essay? Does this answer the question adequately? A mix of professional and personal perspectives works best. Point 2. Be open to feedback, but stay true to your voice. Now, you don't have to accept every suggestion, but consider each one thoughtfully. Revise when the feedback strengthens clarity, tone, or storytelling without losing your authentic voice. Point 3. Double check for truthfulness and accuracy. Never exaggerate or fabricate details. Schools do background checks and integrity matters. You don't want to risk your genuine chances by including something untrue. Point 4. Optional essay. Submit optional essay only when they introduce new and relevant information. For example, some context behind a work gap or unique personality insight. If it doesn't enhance your case, leave it out. Your final version should feel both polished and genuinely yours. Step 12. Now this is a bonus step I was talking about that will make a huge difference. Final narrative check and submission readiness. At this stage, it's not about polishing a single essay. It's about making sure that everything fits in together seamlessly. Think of this as a movie. Each essay, short answer, resume line, recommendation quote, everything is different scenes. And what you're doing now is putting everything together into a powerful story. So here is how you can validate for coherence. Point 1. Look for narrative consistency. Step back and ask, do all parts of the application reinforce a central theme about who I am, what I want, and why I want this MBA? If a reader reviewed just your resume and one particular essay, would they still get the same clear, consistent picture of me? The answer should be yes. Point 2. Scan for factual consistency. Double check all dates, job titles, accomplishments, and names. Ensure nothing contradicts what you have on your resume or application form. Even a small mismatch can raise red flags. Point 3. Ensure recommender alignment. Have you briefed your recommenders on your positioning and the key traits that you want to highlight? If not, it's not too late. Work with them and align your recommenders along with your essays. Point 4. Preview every uploaded file, not just for formatting, but for final visual presentation. Once you're confident in all of these, you'll be ready to hit submit. So now let's see how to bring this all together. By working through this 12-step framework, you have gone beyond simply answering essay prompts. You have built a compelling, cohesive narrative that reflects who you are and where you are headed. Again, this isn't just about storytelling, it's about strategy, clarity, and making every word earn its place. But even with this right framework, applying to top MBA programs can feel overwhelming, and that's where straight admits can come in. If you're looking for expert guidance to navigate the essays, short answers, resume, recommendations, and beyond, I'm here to help. For a free, no obligation consulting session to discuss your MBA goals and next steps, sign up below and I'll help you bring that clarity, confidence, and direction in every step of your application journey. So let's get you that desired admit. Until next time, stay sharp.